Hello, everybody. Crud. My brother didn't close the door. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the possibly long-awaited My Singing Monsters Haunted Island Monster Showcase. Just as a refresher, none of this junk is real. Blah, blah, blah. Who cares? So, fun fact about Haunted Island. Shrink here. Oh, crud, my stand's gonna fall. Shrink is the first Haunted Islander I designed, and it is based on the shrunken head, which is, a head that somebody lost and it got shrunk. That's why it's called Shrink. It comes from shriek and shrink. So I guess I'll just start off with the bio, because, well, that's the only crud that matters. Long ago, after a bad accident, an unfortunate monster misplaced its head. Long story. For a while, the head remained static in its resting place, but it eventually gained sentience and lived its own life, donning the name Shrink. The only place it feels it fits in is Haunted Island, and its residents have happily welcomed Shrink into their home. And then I've written fun facts for all my monsters. So, Shrink is a shrunken head. Back when it still had a body, the full monster was much bigger. And I mean, like, way bigger. It was huge. Probably like, I don't know, maybe just for the heck of it, it was super big. Maybe a stereotypical idea for a giant, because I don't know about you, but I love making monsters with crazy different sizes, because it's fun. Next up is Tempalp, this man in the middle. The name Tempalp comes from tempo and palpitation, which refers to heart palpitation, because this dude, his heart beats, and it beats really dang fast, and it makes the drum sound. But you guys probably already know that, because I've already uploaded their sounds. So, yikes! Pulsating veins and an overactive heart are the defining characteristics of Tempalp. It would prefer to be known for its personality rather than looks, but it knows that it doesn't share that method of judgment, so it doesn't care all that much. Using sign language and rhythmic beats, Tempalp communicates the message that books should not be judged by their covers, as there's so much more to be read. And the fun fact: Tempalp, even if it doesn't have eyes, can in fact read. With an excess amount of nerves and veins in their bodies, they have a very acute sense of touch and use this to feel the indentations that letters make on the pages of a book. They also use the monster equivalent to Braille, but that's usually the second thing they try. And then there's Menten. He might have been the first Haunted Islander I uploaded to YouTube. I don't know. But, he's the first one I posted. I think it was the second one I designed. I did Shrink, then Menten, then I did Tempalp. So, Menten is the leader of the Haunted Islanders, and they are a rather intrusive individual. They bust down doors, follow monsters around, and do what it takes to communicate the message that staying up past midnight is one bad idea. Paranoid residents say that if you stay up past midnight, the Menten would come. No one has seen it, though, as no one has had the gall to stay up too late to meet it. And fun fact, Menten never sleeps. So, I guess that would kind of tap into the more, I'd say, supernatural element to these monsters, but that's not their class. Every Haunted Islanders class, I've called it unnatural. So Menten is, I'm probably going to mispronounce this name, but it's called the Mateminwi. I forgot what mythology that's from, but it's this mythical creature that it looks for children who stay up past midnight, and I think it eats them? I don't know, it eats them, burns them, but Menten doesn't do any of that. He just kind of gives them a bit of a slap on the wrist. So I would have looked for the mythical creature Chucko is based on, but the internet's not working, and I don't think that's the pace I've set up. So, Chucko sits atop monsters' rooftops, searching for and listening to any monsterlings who disobey their parents. If anyone disobeys Chucko, they can count on finding all of their food gone the next morning. It's nothing personal. Sometimes you have to be tough to get things done. Chucko is a truly benevolent and stoic monster at heart. So I guess the trend with all the Haunted Islanders is that they want to protect the world, and they do some stupid stuff, but it's all in good will. I think that's the term. So the fun fact, Chucko can morph its body into whatever shape they like, but the one thing that can't change, obviously, is its skull. So, hang on. Right now I gotta record a whole nother video. You think I wrote a script? I had to stop recording so I could find out what this thing was based on. So it's based on El Chucko, which is a creature from another mythology that I don't know. But El Chucko watches children upon rooftops and eats them if they disobey their parents. But Chucko here doesn't eat children, he steals their food. Just gotta keep it kid friendly, you know how it is. Next up is Aviog, which is actually the last Haunted Islander that I designed, but this is just how the order is with my stack of Haunted Islanders. So Aviog is an unnaturally quiet specimen. They don't speak and aren't shown to need to breathe either. To anyone who is asked, Aviog mentioned that they don't breathe to avoid consuming any poisonous gases in the air. They are a well-known medical expert and have cured countless plagues and epidemics throughout monster history. Legend has it that there was an outrageous case of pokepox, a condition that causes monsters to grow with multicolored polka dots all over their body. It's completely harmless, but it shook up the masses. So I'm just going to say real quick, if you have heard any noises of babies like screaming or lawnmowers or something, yeah, apologies. I'm just gonna hope my recording hasn't picked that up because there's some background noise and it's too early in the morning to do this. Fun fact: Aviog may not be able to talk, but it does in fact use a language made up of various popping, clicking, whistling, and scratching noises. It uses this language with pangos, clambos, and T-Roxes. I don't know what the plural for T-Roxes would be though. Would be like T-Roxen, because ox or oxen. And in case you didn't get the memo, Aviog isn't really based on any mythical creature in particular. Rather, it's just a plague doctor, and I wanted to make like a little creepy bird thing with a white mask standing on a staff. Next up is Hobo Bow. He's the Hobo Bow. Quite the mysterious fella, as those who have met it have said. Some believe it maintains control on Haunted Island like a non-hostile puppet master, and some believe it guides lost souls so they avoid a fate similar to its own, a ghost clinging to an empty husk to help the song not to feel as such. So, it said in the first sentence of this bio that some believe it maintains control on Haunted Island, so I guess it could be like, oh, Hobo Bow and Menten, they share like a kind of they're the two head honchos, the two guys in charge, I guess. And Hobo Bow, much like a few of the Haunted Islanders, it's pretty dang dead. It's actually a ghost possessing a scarecrow, and he placed a song. So that was actually the fun fact. And most, if not all, of the Haunted Islanders are either ghosts possessing a body or something else that happens to be zombie-like. Aviog, he's probably a corpse. And this is E.G. He is based on the E.G. rock. I believe that's from Inuit mythology, but that could be wrong. The E.G. rock, last time I checked, it's some kind of super awesome shapeshifter thing that, again, it lures lonely kids to its cave, then it eats them. That could be wrong. Sorry to those who are super into this mythical creature. By the way, that's their actual head. It's not a skull. So many will tell you that E.G. strikes fear into whomever it may look at. I probably used whom wrong in that sentence. It strikes fear into whomever it may look at, whattin' with the crazy horns and such. But this is pretty much completely wrong. E.G. does not mean to scare anyone, as they're a very social creature who doesn't mean to do harm. They wander throughout the world looking for lonely monsters, for which E.G. will provide a companion. Itself. Oh crud, I just bumped my stand. They're pretty friendly. So, factoid, E.G. doesn't eat. It lives off the happiness that is released from the other monsters it speaks to with its mysterious, non-existent skull mouth. And if you're wondering why, the E.G. rock, last time I checked, again, the last time I looked at these things was like 3 seconds ago, but that was only for El Chucko, which is what Chucko is based on. And then other than that, it was like a month ago. So my memory about these things is a little rusty. But I think EG Rock is brown, but I decided to make EG him or her or itself blue because what I wanted to do with the Haunted Islanders is with their designs. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna make them look weird. Like I gave them some contrasting colors, like with Hobo Bow, it's got, the blue and the, I guess, bright brown, which I didn't think would be possible. Aviog is mostly black, but I gave it some red claws, red goggles, and there is a bit of green on its staff, which you probably won't be able to see. Chucko has a gross slime body with a gold skull, even though that is not what El Chucko looks like. I think it just has a normal skull head with weird black, viney, slimy gooiness. I think the best example of these monsters, with me trying to make these guys look colorful, is Shrink, because most shrunken heads don't have hair that looks like this. Oh, by the way, Shrink's hair isn't like fire or anything. I just wanted to make it look cool, so I used all these crazy colors, red to orange to yellow, and I used purple and green, which I guess that was, a shot in the dark, because I didn't know if that would look good, and one would argue that it doesn't, but hey, it fits the atmosphere. And Tempalp might end up getting a redesign in the future, because again, I wanted to use a bunch of different looking colors, but the yellow limbs, like the yellow hands and feet, they're kind of distracting, so I might make them like a really dark gray. And then Menten's colors aren't very bright, but I gave him some beady red eyes with green around them. It's contrasting colors, man. You get the memo. And then last, and most certainly least, Gil Amazo. Probably has one of the more boring designs out of my Haunted Islanders, because it and Menten look pretty similar proportion-wise. They have a little head body with long arms and legs, but I don't care. It is based on the... I want to try and nail this name without having to look it up. Great, this is my third freaking video that I have to record. So... Gil Amazo is based on the Dongala Miso. It's from Congo mythology. And this is probably, again, a little bit rusty, but I believe the Dongala Miso lures kids with candy and it warns them about the dangers of talking to strangers. Probably kills them after. So again, sorry if I got that wrong to anyone who is familiar with the Dongala Miso from Congo. So, here is the freaking bio. Look at those eyes! Gil Amazo has certainly seen a lot, how would it not, and knows a creep when it sees one. Using a piercing glare, that's short for Gil Amazo, warns the youngsters it meets to not speak with strangers. In life, implying that this thing is a zombie, it is said that Gil Amazo made the same mistake, and as punishment, their mouth was sewn shut, which is why it doesn't have one. So, yes, Gil Amazo died and came back to life. That's the case with a few of the Haunted Islanders. Some of them, as I mentioned earlier, are pretty dead. So, when I posted this thing in the My Singing Monsters amino, someone was like, "Oh God, it got its mouth sewn shut." All that edgy crud event art, and I'm like, no, that's not really meant to be edgy, man. I just thought it would be a fun little reason as to why this thing does not, in fact, have a mouth, and so I guess that's it. Maybe if these things get rare designs, which they most likely won't, because in my, I guess, little Haunted Islander chronology, there's only one of these things, man. There's, only one Gil Amazo, one Shrink, one Tempalp, one Menten, one EG, one Chucko, and one Aviog, and one Hobo Bow. So anyway, if these things had rares, who knows? Maybe Gil Amazo would get some candy or something. Cause I think the Dongala Miso lures kids with candy. I've completely gone off. I'm working on another island, so song's almost done. Might finish it today, might not. Hope you guys are looking forward to that. This is asinine.